Hey guys, welcome to Shark Tank. Tell us about yourself, start with the name of the company and background.
Hey Daniel, it's great to be here. My name is Michael and this is my partner Luke, and we're actually the CEOs of Zamboni. We started back in 2005 in San Diego, California, and that's actually where we were both born and raised. We've been with the company since 2005 in its inception. We actually made a machine that resurfaces the ice after figure skaters and hockey players skated over it too many times. It like chops up the ice, and it gets like a lot of dents in it, and it's really hard to skate after that for a few times. So we actually decided to make a machine that'll fix that problem and make skating a lot more effortless.
Oh, it sounds really good. So very interesting. But you make a machine and create a machine and sell a machine in a place where no ice is. And so, what are you guys hoping to receive from the Sharks today?
Well, we've been operating in San Diego for a little more than a decade now. It's a little weird that we've been here since there's no ice here. But that's why we're actually looking into foreign markets. A place like Canada would be perfect for us. We just had a really good quarter. And so doing such a venture really isn't that hard at all. And with the Sharks' help, we'll be able to make our dream into a reality.
Absolutely.
And we're offering 25% of our business for 3 million Canadian dollars.
Oh, it's a huge amount of money, but good luck guys, and go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. See you then.
Come visit Canada, and learn about our rich history and culture from the beginning that dates all the way back to the Paleo Indians, who arrived here through the Bering Strait from present-day Russia to Alaska, and to the arrival of the French and British expeditions to the Atlantic coast in the attempt to colonize us, to our Independence Day on July 1st, 1867. While you're here, make sure to stop by the Hill, or more formally known as Parliament Hill, located in Ottawa, our beautiful capital. Whether you're coming for a few days, weeks, or plan on staying forever, because we know you're thinking about it, make sure to use the Great Canadian Travel Company for all your traveling needs,
The Sharks are investment millionaires that have some of their own investments in some of Canada's largest industries. Maria Verdugo, born here in the United States, found the opportunity for investments in agriculture. After noticing the industry being one of Canada's largest, she moved her assets across borders and is now the owner and CEO of Viterra Inc., one of Canada's largest agriculture companies, with an overall revenue of $30.7 annually. John Kang, born in Canada, made his millions by investing in oil and gas companies, the largest being Suncor Energy, located in his hometown, with an astonishing annual revenue of $38 million. Jordan Summit, born in San Diego, California, has made his millions in the tech industry. As a founder and CEO of Bombardier Inc., he directs and designs innovations to the latest medical technology on the market. His company has an annual revenue of $7.4 million US.
Well, Sharks, we are Zamboni. We are looking to become an international company and to expand the Canadian market. To accomplish this, we need $3 million, and in exchange, we're offering 25% equity of our company.
Okay, well, welcome to Shark Tank.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Are you guys feeling nervous?
I'm a little nervous. It's my first time doing a big sales pitch, but I mean, I think I'll get over it after we'll start getting into it.
Okay.
Okay.
How are you guys doing today in general?
Well, all right. Feeling good. Feel like I'm gonna make a lot of money tonight. So,
How long drive from San Diego? Got all the way up here.
yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Thank you.
All right, well, we should be more nervous than feeling good because that's a lot of money that you guys are asking for. Have you guys done any research in regards to Canada's trade and investment patterns?
Well, we have done some research, but we would really like to partner with you guys to utilize your knowledge and other experience.
Lucky for you, I have just what you're looking for. For my current investments, I have done extensive marketing and research regarding Canada's trade and investments. Canada's economic growth depends on that. The Minister of the International Trade Investment launched the Global Markets Action Plan, which created more jobs and opportunities. for Canadians through trade and investment, which can also help the business out if we decide to work together and go into Canada. Also, the FDI inflows rose up to 49.3% in 2013, an estimated $64.2 billion. My investment in Canada have been very successful due to the increase in foreign and investment holdings by $59.2 billion since I started investing in Canada.
Who made you the expert on Canada's trade and investment patterns? What do you know about their exported goods, Maria?
I know what I'm talking about.
Okay. So let's hear it.
Well, that's how I've made my billions, is through my research. And as for their major exported goods, some include oil and vehicles, precious metals, also plastics, aircrafts, wood, just to name a few. And if you want to be specific, their oil was up to 90% exports and the vehicles were up to 15% exports. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, but don't forget that Canada is the 12th largest exporter, and they have a lot of trade partners, including China, Japan, and the European Union. Is that something that you guys are aware of, or maybe something that you guys are looking to expand to after Canada?
Yeah, definitely. We'll learn a lot from international business regarding Canada, especially outsourcing. Hopefully one day we'll be able to actually reach out to other parts of the world, such as China, which will lower our labor costs and in general lower our general costs for our consumers.
I like that idea. Canada has economic and trading arrangements with other countries like Thailand, Indonesia, and Singapore. These countries are all part of APEC, the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation, making the expansion into Asian markets easier.
Absolutely, I agree. Canada has a great financial advantage through its economic and trade arrangements with APEC. Asian Pacific Economic Corporation has a total of 21 members to include Canada. APEC is a cooperative process that is mainly concerned with advancing trade and economic opportunities with their developing countries.
I actually did a little bit of research on this, and I would say since we are looking to expand to Canada, I did a little bit of research on their economic environment. According to my research, inflation has been fairly low since the 1990s. Also, in 2007, the Canadian dollar has considerably increased in value, but has been falling since then, which could be to our advantage, actually. Canada is great for expansion because its economic foundations remain strong and are very well supported by the protection of the property rights.
Well, I'm impressed, you guys. At least you did some research on your own time. You can't just jump into a market, especially a country, without doing your research first. That's a recipe for failure, something that I, and I think my fellow sharks, aren't going to invest in. I believe that hard work leads to success, and without it, there will be no success, which is what we're all here for. With that being said, tell me a little bit more about Canada's economic environment.
Yeah, let's see. We looked it up, and Canada is actually committed to open market policies that facilitate global trade and investments, which is actually has been going very strong, actually. Its economic background has demonstrated resilience through the last couple of years, and especially it's been doing pretty well, even though the global crisis in 2008 it actually didn't do as bad as the other countries did.
Well, it's a great start, like Jordan here. I'm actually impressed. However, we also need to look into other aspects of the country, not just their economic environment. In order to expand a business in a foreign country, it's important to gain some knowledge on their culture and their history, also their political system. What do you guys think? They should know more about their cultural background, right?
I agree.
Good point. I want security in my investments. I'm not going to invest in a company that hasn't prepared or willing to put in efforts on political or cultural atmosphere. These small details can make or break a company.
Well, culturally, Canada is very invested in sports, so much so that the Senate House of Commons declared 1994 hockey a national sport. Therefore, we will always have a business there because the employees run off hockey.
The only way you can be successful in my home country is to fully understand the Canadian culture. It has a lot of parallels with the United States, like our indigenous roots, the European values. Canada is characterized as being very progressive, diverse, and multicultural.
Well, America has all that.
Sure, but the nuances is what makes Canada so special. We're very progressive. We're among the top countries that had taken immigrants per capita. Our social policies have helped the poor for decades. We even legalized same-sex marriage 11 years ago.
As an American, there's only one thing I really care about. How's the food?
Our food is as diverse as our people. Our cuisines range from French tortilla to English smoked ham, and we have no shame in being the world's largest producer of maple syrup. Even Canadian has the best artists. Some of our artists are Drake, Jim Carrey, and Ryan Gosling, and they're all from my high school. Canadians care about their cultural background so much that the government pays for their television network to promote and sustain their national identity.
Wow, if the United States is like Canada, we can make America great again.
Thanks for the cultural background there, John. I'll make sure to hire you as my tour guide next time I plan to visit. Let's not forget also about politics. If you guys consider Canada's current political system and how it operates, keep in mind it's a lot different than what we have here in the United States.
There's only a few things I know about Canada, and that's they speak French and they're a little socialist.
Typical American. Right now, the corporate tax rate is 26%, while here in the US it's 39%, which puts us in the top 3 of corporate taxation. So keep that in mind as well. A couple other things is that the Canadian government spends a lot of time inside of companies, especially the larger ones that they have, compared to what our government does here. Also in the 80s, the healthcare thing was passed, so all those companies are in charge of paying for that healthcare and making sure to maintain it. So that's an extra expense that you guys are going to have. Lastly, that healthcare system comes also from individual provinces that have their own tax rates.
I can give you exact provinces to enter into. As of 2014, Nova Scotia is the best to start a small business. They only have a 4% tax if you're making revenue of $400,000. I bet if you were going to invest in, Manitoba, which has straight up 12%, you need to do your research.
Well, Maria, you make a few small investments here and there and you think all of a sudden that you're the expert and you just know everything about it. If you really want to invest all of your money and increase your business over there, then it looks like here's your opportunity. I don't understand why you're not all over this.
Well, some of us are more careful about our money. We're not just going around throwing it everywhere. I like to making it rain. I like to be careful where I invest my money in. My overall impression of the attractiveness in investing in Canada for U.S. companies is moderate. I mean, I have my investments there. I've had my ups and downs. Their tax rates and their universal health care is a little bit of a concern because of how they're being funded. Also, I have been successful, but it's due to the fact that I am very careful with how I spend my money, like I told Jordan, like him making it rain. However, to answer your question, I'm very interested in the venture that you guys have, but I want to see more about your company and the dealings before I even consider diving in. What were your sales last year?
So last year was our best year yet, actually. We had sales of $1.5 million, which means we had 9 Zambonis sold. They retail anywhere from $20,000 to $250,000, and they cost between $6,000 and $175,000.
Yeah, and also we don't do a lot of wholesale. The amount to third parties. They also, it's bad. There you go.
Okay, so last year was our best year yet. We actually had sales of $1.5 million. With that broken down, that's actually 9 million Zambonis sold. And they retail anywhere from $20,000 to $255,000, and they each cost between $6,000 to $175,000.
Yeah, and also we don't do wholesale. The amount to third parties, they're all made to order and shipped from our individual factories.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're doing some great business. What other research have you guys done, or what are other thoughts that you want to share with us?
Well, like what about NAFTA? I know about NAFTA a little bit, but does that make Canada a very attractive company to invest in?
Yes, that's correct. NAFTA makes Canada more attractive for trade and investments for U.S. companies. NAFTA is provided to be the foundation for Canada's prosperity. NAFTA's provisions ensures greater stability and success for investment decisions that have contributed to enhancing Canada's attractiveness to foreign investors.
Have you guys thought about specific adjustments U.S. companies would have to make to operate effectively in Canada, like workforce costs?
that on US, the amount.
Yeah.
I think it's roughly about 10.45 an hour, so it should be basically our base market.
What about state and federal taxes?
Well, Canada's actually a socialist country, so they have a lot higher taxes, which means they also have workers' comp, something else.
Yeah, it's like a workers' comp, and I think they have paid leave too.
Oh yeah, they also have paid leave, and which we really have to account for that because in America they don't have that as much, and it's not as high, so we have to pay a lot more taxes.
That's true, and there's also universal health care that you
Oh,
have
yeah.
to consider. That's going to be a higher cost.
Yeah. Doesn't NAFTA cover both countries?
Well, I want to go back to this whole higher cost and tax. They do have a tax, but it's deemed a disposition tax, which also applies to higher tax rates on capital gains. They will discourage Canadian investors to invest in our company, but we don't really have to worry about that. I think that we can do well financially if we move forward.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that as well, you guys. Another thing to keep in mind is the government regulations. What kind of stuff do you think that a U.S. company would have to kind of change or alter in order to survive in Canada's environment?
What do you think, Michael?
Well, also, don't forget that NAFTA covers regulations in both the US and Canada.
Yeah, also consider that the Canadian government only interferes with operations when they appear to be acting against the public interest.
Do you guys know anything about which U.S. industries will work the best in Canada?
Yeah, it would literally be insane for the U.S. agriculture not to do business in Canada. Geographically, it makes sense. And it would be a huge percentage of the Canadian GDP. The system is already set up for the Canadian agriculture, and their reputation can also be utilized.
That money's worth dirt compared to the oil money coming from Canada. Canada ranks #1 among the global market when it comes to oil and gas. 35% of the world's oil companies are listed in Canada, and the Canadian exchange is the largest capital market for oil and gas. The infrastructure already has 19 refineries that are supported by 500,000 miles of pipeline. In this environment, the U.S. companies will thrive and become profitable very quickly.
Okay, thank you guys for presenting your company, and I would appreciate if you go out for a moment and let the sharks discuss among themselves. So if you come in, they will get your verdict, and see you later.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so I mean, what do you guys think?
I actually like them. I think they're on the right track. It's good to see that their sales are up. They're taking the right steps to expanding their company. Imagine what they could actually do with a place with ice. Not to mention, Canada's national sport is hockey. Since I'm from Canada, I feel like I'm the most qualified to handle this operation. However, with that being said, I feel like they're asking for a bit too much.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you with what you said, John. They are without a doubt on the right track, and if it happens, this expansion in Canada could, I mean, easily triple their sales. With that being said, though, I am not so sure about expansions outside the United States, you know, for like corruption and political problems that might occur, especially exchange rates with their money and stuff. So, you know, I like them. I think they're on the right track. I agree with what you said, but I don't think that I'm going to be investing in them today. What about you, Maria?
Well, don't be such a wuss, first of all. They're great. They're a great investment. I think Canada overall is safe to do business. They are part of a large trade agreement and international organizations such as APEC, NAFTA, and the United Nations. From a business point of view, I believe this is a great opportunity for future growth. I think I can really make a lot of money. I'm sure of it.
Okay, Maria, looks like it's just between you and me.
All right, let's bring them in.
Welcome back, entrepreneurs. Thank you for coming on the show today. It was great having you. So the sharks have the time to talk it over, and are ready to give you a verdict. And Mr. King, would you like to start?
Sure. Zamboni, I thoroughly enjoyed meeting you guys today, and to be entirely honest, I feel like you guys have a lot of potential, and I like to be part of the business. But I do believe $3 million for a quarter of your business is asking for a bit too much. So I'm going to give you the exact amount of money that you guys want, but in return, I want to gain 50% of the company.
As for me, I really appreciate you guys coming on the show. I'm not really big into international investments and that type of thing. I just feel the risk is a little too much for myself and the money that I spend on it. So with that, I will not be making an offer today. However, I do wish you guys the best in all that you do.
Okay, well, for me, I like what you guys said, your idea about expanding into Canada, since I have experience and I do have investments in Canada. The machine you have created is amazing, and from what I know, it controls its own market. I'm prepared to give you the $1 million for an agreed amount of 25% of your company.
It's okay, Shorts, if me and Michael have a time to ourselves to discuss these?
Sure.
Sure, that's okay. All right. Okay, well, Maria, John, thank you for your offers. We did a lot of thinking about and came down to that. We did some calculations before we came onto the show, and it's going to cost $2.5 million to really do this, with $500,000 for unforeseeable events. And so with that in mind, we are going to accept John's offer, and we're looking forward to this great deal up ahead.
All right, awesome.
All right, business.